Okay, look, what I'm about to do is really cringe because I'm about to read the prologue of this book, and I love the show, but I would like to read this
in McGonagall's voice.
No, I'm not gonna put up McGonagall's voice, but it will be in an accent, and it's just gonna be really bad, okay? Anyways, duh. You may think you know the story. It goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a 16-year-old girl named Jane Grey, who was forced to marry a complete stranger, Lord Guildford, or Guilford, or Gifford, something or other, and shortly thereafter found herself ruler of a country. She was queen for 9 days. Then she quite literally lost her head. Yes, it's a tragedy if you consider the disengagement of one's head from one's body tragic. We are merely narrators and would hate to make assumptions as to what the reader would find tragic. We have a different tale to tell. Pay attention. We've tweaked minor details. We've completely rearranged major details. Some names have been changed to protect the innocent, or not so innocent, or simply because we thought a name was terrible and we'd like another name better. We've added a touch of magic to keep things interesting, so really anything could happen. This is how we think Jane's story should have gone. It begins in England, or an alternative version of England, since we're dealing with the manipulation of history, in the middle of the 16th century. It was an uneasy time, especially if you were an Athenian, pronounced Athenian, for those of you unfamiliar with the term. The Athenians were blessed, or cursed, depending on your point of view, with the ability to switch between a human form and an animal one. For instance, certain members of the general public could turn I'm getting there. For instance, certain members of the general public could turn themselves into cats, which greatly increased the country's tuna fish consumption, but also cut down on England's rat population. Then again, other individuals could also turn into rats, so nobody could really notice. There were those who thought that this animal magic was terrific, but others who saw it as an abomination needed to be eradicated immediately. That second group, known as Verities, believed that human beings had no business being anything other than human beings. And because Verities were largely in charge of everything, Athenians were persecuted and hunted until most of them died out or went into deep hiding. Which brings us to one fateful afternoon in the royal court of England when King Henry VIII, during a fit of rage, transformed into a great lion and devoured the court jester. Much to the audience's delight, they clapped enthusiastically, for no one really liked the jester. Later, the courtiers discovered that the incident was not a rehearsed act of artful deception, but indeed an actual lion massacring the jester. When the audience found out the truth, they no longer clapped, but they did remark that clown had it coming. That very night, King Henry, once he returned to his human form, decreed that Athenians weren't so bad after all, and henceforth should enjoy the same rights and privileges as the Verities. The decision to sanction the ancient magic made waves across Europe. The head of the Verity Church was not pleased with King Henry's decision, but every time Rome sent a missive denouncing the decree, the Lion King ate the messenger. Hence the phrase, "Don't eat the messenger." When Henry died, his only son, Edward, inherited the throne. A story begins in the middle of tense times with an increasing animosity animosity brewing between Athens and Verities, a teenage king with a tenuous grasp on the throne of England, and a young lord and lady who have no idea their destinies are about to collide, totally against their will.